From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. It appears the U.S. will blow past a July 1st deadline to renew the Canada-U.S.-Mexico agreement on trade. Reporters asked U.S. President Donald Trump in the Oval Office today about the agreement's upcoming deadline.
I don't know that I'm going to renew it because, to be honest with you, the United States does much better. Hey, we don't need anything that Canada has. We don't need anything that Mexico has, but they need everything that we have.
If the deadline passes, CUSMA stays in place, but it's subject to an annual rolling review for up to 10 years. The U.S. could give 6 months' notice that it's pulling out, but public comments from Trump's team suggest that is much less likely. Ottawa is moving to ban kids from social media platforms and artificial intelligence chatbots. The Liberal government introduced its bill this afternoon that would force social media platforms to block access for children younger than 16. Meanwhile, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre calls for stronger criminal sanctions for those who prey on children online.
We should also have tougher penalties and better tools to lock up online predators who target children through manipulative and predatory activities. They should be locked up in prison.
He calls for an outright ban on the use of non-consensual AI-generated images. He says people who create fake sexual videos or images of someone without their consent should face criminal charges. Prime Minister Mark Carney says there's no big drama around the new Gordie Howe International Bridge between Ontario and Michigan. A long-awaited ribbon cutting is set for Friday, but President Donald Trump said in February the U.S. would need to be compensated before he would allow it to open. A White House official told Global News yesterday Trump's position has not changed. Protesters marched past the Prime Minister's office today to oppose plans for the country's first high-speed rail line. Farmers and other rural residents traveled to Parliament Hill to make their views clear. The Toronto to Quebec City project faces strong opposition from residents and farmers along the route. The Bank of Canada has left its benchmark interest rate unchanged at 2.25% as inflation remains in check for now. But Bank Governor Tiff Macklem says rising oil prices are a concern as the war in Iran continues.
The longer this goes, the higher energy prices are, the longer they're higher, the bigger is the risk that starts to pass through to other goods and services. And, the more likely that becomes that then, we need to respond.
But Macklem says rising oil prices are not the only risk. The trade file remains uncertain and the economy's restructuring, with slowing population growth and the adoption of artificial intelligence. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Toronto Blue Jays look to clinch a winning record on their 6-game homestand tonight. They play the rubber match of a 3-game series with the Philadelphia Phillies this evening. The Toronto Tempo are home to face the Connecticut Sun in WNBA action. The expansion Tempo enter the game with a 6-5 record. Canadian tennis star Victoria Mboko is out of singles competition at the HSBC Championships. She fell during her first-round match against Karolina Pliskova. Canada continues to prepare for its World Cup opener on Friday against Bosnia-Herzegovina. Midfielder Tajon Buchanan and his team face the biggest game in the program's history.
We're all looking forward to it, playing a World Cup on home soil. Every kid's dream. So yeah, we just got to go, be prepared, work hard, and, get the win.
The World Cup kicks off tomorrow with Mexico taking on South Africa in the opening match. And former NHL player Pascal Rayome has been named coach of the PWHL's Toronto Scepters. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.